shooting that makes no sense in our communities. This man allegedly shot his co-worker because she rejected his advances. Michael Carpenter, 36 years of age, has been charged with second-degree murder after he allegedly shot and killed his co-worker, Nicole, who was 28. Hammond was shot and killed October 24th in the parking lot where they both worked in St. Cloud, Minnesota. The St. Cloud Police Department said officers tried to provide life-saving measures, but Hammond died at the scene, Nicole Hammond. Carpenter fled the scene, but was later captured at a house in Minnesota and taken into custody. She would have been shot once in the neck, and Carpenter is now facing up to 40 years in prison. Another incident on October 20th, police arrested a man who allegedly shot his former employee over a paycheck typo in Aurora, Colorado. Authorities said Lloyd Clifford Love shot Marvin Johnson outside of American Eagle Protective Services. Reports stated that Love received his first paycheck from the company and was unable to cash it because his name was spelled incorrectly on the check. Love's middle initial was incorrect, keeping him from being able to cash the check, a simple issue that could have been resolved. His former employee told him that he would need to return the incorrect to receive the replacement check. However, Love shot Johnson as he was asking his wife to write a new one. He didn't have the old check because he ripped it up. And so, good morning. Today is Wednesday. It is November 2nd. The year is 2022. It's a quiet morning over here, sort of quiet. I had to put them little two rascals on the front porch right there so I can do this video. There's Grayson. The other one, you can't see him because he's kind of sitting there next to him. They have been running around here and running around here and running around here this morning. I said, okay, they got to go outside. And so, of course, as soon as I start this video, Grayson's out there demanding to get back into the house. You're not getting back in here right now. You're going to be sitting out there. Y'all, we live in some crazy world. Yesterday, it was shocking to me when Takeoff, the singer from the group Migos, was shot and killed. Yeah, we so used to these deadly shootings, or we have become so used to black people shooting and killing each other that we just kind of ignore it. You know, it's kind of like, okay, well, another person shot and killed. Those two news articles I just posted where one guy shot a woman at his job because she had no interest in him. Let me put this phone on mute to navigate the phone. The crazy part is you have all these incidents that happen. This man shot and killed his coworker because she wasn't interested in him. So he decides, well, I'm going to shoot and kill her. This other fool at his job, he goes back to his job because he couldn't cash the check because they put a K in his middle initial, and so when he wasn't able to cash checks all day long, and they had my name spelled wrong and all kinds of shit. It's deposited in my bank account, keep moving, and goes right through. I've never had any problems with that, but I can imagine him trying to cash a check. Maybe he needed the money, but was it worth going back to the job and shooting and killing the man as the man was writing you out a new check? You pull out your gun, you shoot him. Something wrong with these guys, and you all. I know that y'all don't like to hear this stuff. But a lot of these black guys, something's wrong with these guys. They're kind of off mentally. And it is a huge problem in our community. Yes, I know white folks do it too, and they suffer from these same issues. I do understand that. But something's kind of wrong, it's scary when you're around black men in particularly. You know, I've been in situations where I've seen black men act a fool, and it's like, okay, they go from 0 to 100 so quickly, and it's kind of like, well, what is going on here? Why is this minor issue, something so minor, not then turn into something so huge that somebody has to die or get shot and killed about it? And I've seen these incidents, and I've seen this repeatedly, over and over and over. And I've learned for my own protection, I just gotta keep my distance. And what I mean by that is I love who I am. I love being in the black community, but I tend to limit my interactions. I used to go to a barber shop off of Wesley Chapel. Would be packed with all these barbers, about 10 barbers, and then you go in there. And the guy was cutting my hair. I'd see them on a regular basis. But the conversations that they would have in that barber shop was so filled with so much violence and arguing and just all kinds of crazy stuff. It wasn't really a cordial environment. It wasn't really a friendly environment for customers like me coming to get my haircut. I had to listen to all this foolishness. And they had some incidents where these barbers had physically confronted each other over petty mess, you guys. It's just stupid stuff. And then one day I was there and witnessed this, I said, okay, I can't come back here no more. Because I could end up, I'm just trying to get my beard trimmed because I shaved my head myself. I'm just trying to shave up get my beard cleaned up, and it looks a mess right now. I think I went too low that last time. Anyway. But if I'm sitting in a barber shop and here these niggas are acting a damn fool, I don't want to have a stray bullet hit and kill me. I stopped going up there. And this was about the second or third or fourth or fifth barbershop. I said, okay, I'm not going back there no more because of the ignorant behavior. And we seem to tolerate this behavior. Everybody got a gun. Everybody got a gun. Well, I'm like, damn, what do y'all do? What do you need a gun for? I mean, I do understand what a gun is for protection, to protect you, but you need it everywhere we go, whether you're in the gym or riding up to Burger King or going to a play or a movie, everybody has a gun. So when you have people who have guns and they are already on edge, ready to explode, I was having some conversations with my nephews and some of the stuff that they were complaining about, I'm like, dude, what is this issue? I said, that's minor. Just let it die. How much do this? I said, why? It ain't worth it. You got children at home. Let that mess die. He disrespected me. It ain't even that big of a deal. They let it go. And I try to convince them to let this mess go and quit harboring resentment because somebody disrespected you or they did something. It's not even worth it. It just ain't worth it. And I've seen one of my cousins shot and killed another cousin. This happened some years ago in Mississippi outside my father's house. Never understood what that was about. Never. They say that eventually, if they said it was that he shot him in self-defense, at least, yeah. But really, you shoot and kill your cousin? These are, of course, younger, not my generation, but a younger generation. So it would be my cousin's children. So I guess that would be my great niece and great nephews. I don't know. Anyway, it ain't worth it all this shooting and killing somebody over nothing. You meet a girl at work. She don't like you. She has no interest in you. She sent him text messages saying that she didn't want to be involved with him. She sent text messages. And what she should have did, and she didn't do, was she should have went to her boss and complained. But she didn't do that because she didn't want the man to lose his damn job. So she calls herself trying to handle this herself, to try to keep him calm. I'm not interested. This man he decided he would shoot and kill her at the job. She should have went to the police, and she also should have went to her employers. And she should have told them, what's going on, y'all? You cannot trust these ignorant ass niggas. They will kill you over nothing. Nothing. You will lose your life because you don't want to go on a date with somebody. Who ever heard of something so ridiculous? And I can see y'all like, y'all don't know if she played with him. No, she sent text messages. They have all these messages back and forth. When he first initiated this, she said she was not interested. She did not want to have anything to do with him. And she kept repeatedly texting this over and over to this man, but this man just couldn't see it. He couldn't fathom it. So she never let him on from the very beginning. She never did. This man just assumed There was another incident. I don't know if y'all remember this back a few years ago in New York. This guy, it was a parade going on. I believe it was some type of parade going on in the Bronx or Jamaica. And anyway, this young lady this guy was trying to talk to Johnny, and she wasn't interested in him. They don't even know each other. She's just going on about her business. She didn't know, no thanks. She was just didn't take him up on his advances to her. And then he pulls out a gun and shoot and kill her. I don't know if this was the Bronx or Jamaica. It was one of those boroughs up in New York. Maybe it was Harlem. I don't know. But I remember that story kind of stood out to me. I was like, and this woman, she did not know him, and he didn't know her. So because somebody doesn't like you, I don't want to get to know you, you get so angry because you feel you've been disrespected, and you decide to grab a gun and shoot. That doesn't make sense to me. That young man that was killed, from a member of Migos group who was shot and killed in over a dice game. Well, this is what they're saying, but we really don't know what was going on. But they say they didn't. There are so many stories coming out of this. But what was known in every story I've heard was that he was an innocent bystander who just happened to be just standing there when all this bullshit kicked off. And somebody decided to grab a gun and start firing bullets. So we won't know anything until we actually have the police continue their investigation, and then we'll probably have a better idea what happened versus the shit that we're hearing on social media. It was an accident, it was this, it was that, a bunch of just nonsense, y'all. We won't know anything about what took place where Takeoff was shot and killed until the police continue to do the investigation. However, you all, you want to go out there and live life and have fun and enjoy stuff and do things, but we make it difficult in our community to feel safe. You know, that man was 28 years of age. And I remember when I was 28, that was in 1998. I had just purchased my third home in the old Fourth Ward, which was a very dangerous area at that time. And I would literally rush home before the sun went down to get in that house and turn them floodlights on and lock those doors because I didn't want to be caught coming in and out of that house late at night. Because at one point I moved in there, when I first moved in there, I had a garage, streetcar garage, but I didn't have the fence. I had an electric gate on the front of the house, electric gate for the driveway and gates at the front door, but the sides of the house, the backyard was wide open. So it means I would come through the gate and pull up into the garage, but I didn't have a fence up at that time. I quickly hurried and got a fence put up there. But they would be shooting and all kinds of stuff. And I'll lay there at nighttime thinking, what the hell did I just get myself into down here? I would literally lay in that bed and listen to these gunfire out there and arguing and all kinds of stuff. There were two homes. The reason I'm bringing this up because I realized that neighborhood was dangerous and I wasn't going out there in that mess. I didn't go walking the dogs or running up and down Rankin Street in Old 44. Hell fucking no. I stayed away from them niggas. I knew better. So whenever there's something going on in Atlanta, and we have a lot of events that take place here, if I'm going to something, I kind of like to get there early so I can get the hell out of there before the rest of them heathens show up. And some things, like for example, they have this twice a year Arbor Avenue Festival. It used to be very nice back. Now they do it twice a year. They didn't do it. They used to do it for like a long weekend. There'd be concerts and stuff. I haven't been in that in years. One of the reasons why I stopped going to, there were some incidents that took place, and I just said, I'm going to skip this one. Now, they used to have something called the Midtown Art Festival. What was that thing called? I don't know if they still have it. They had the Dogwood Festival, then they had the Piedmont Park Arts Festival. That festival was pretty nice. Then a few years after that, they also had this thing when they called Screen on the Green, where in Piedmont Park, where they put up this big, massive screen, and people come out there and watch old movies. Me and our friends would go down and get drinks, popcorn, food, whatever, lay on the grass on the blanket and watch these movies. Well, the last year that he did that, this was some time ago, boy, them niggas came out there acting a damn fool, running around there with gunfire, all kinds of crazy shit. And I think the movie was The Wiz. They had to cancel the rest of those Screen on the Greens because it got so bad over there at Piedmont Park that people felt unsafe and so much crazy shit was going on. And it was nighttime. You know, it was dark in the park. You can't really see nothing. So they had to cancel that. I don't know if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, maybe y'all remember that incident that happened. It was some time ago. But they don't do the screen on the green at Piedmont Park no more. They had to cancel that mess. So there's a lot of stuff that they did here in Atlanta they had to eliminate. They still do the Harbor Avenue Festival, but it's a much shorter festival. I think it's a weekend now. They don't have all the music and concerts and performances like they used to. I mean, you've had people like James Brown perform down there. All kinds of people come. Big name stars come to the Harbor Avenue Jazz. I'm not sure if it was a jazz festival or whatever it was called. But it was on Harbor Avenue. They set up a stage, and they may still have some musicians that come down there, but not like it used to be. And one of the reasons why is because people just got crazy. You know, just you have all these crazy people. Everybody got a gun. Everybody, and it just takes just a little infraction, just something very minor, and they're ready to kill everybody. It's like, okay. This gun violence thing in our communities is dangerous. And I think we've ignored it for too long. I don't know if we are ignoring it, willing to not acknowledge it, or maybe we just come just accustomed to this type of violence. I couldn't even tell you. But I'll tell you what I do. Certain places, I'm not going. I think I've said this in other videos, and I think a lot of people, and y'all, I'm not afraid of anything or nothing like that. I just don't want to be caught up in the bull crap. I don't want to be caught up in this nonsense and foolishness, me going to see, well, I don't even like rap music any damn way, so you don't have to worry about seeing me at nobody's rap concert, because I don't want to hear that mess. Now, if it's some jazz or some Sade or other musicians, some R&B singers. I did go a few weeks ago to the East Point Wednesday wind down. They had a couple of singers there singing. I can't think of that young lady's name that they had on there. She performed. I could hear her song. She played the Wiz. She played in the Wiz when she was a teenager. In the original on Broadway, not the Diana Ross played in the movie. Maybe y'all remember. She played in the Wiz on. Anyway, I went to go see her, and that was a really nice concert. Older black crowd of people out there. It was a really good movie. I mean, really good concert. And there were a couple other performers there, too. I can't remember who else was there. I had a nice time out there, but it was an older crowd. I'm trying to think who was that. I'm trying to look it up and not sure you're sure this old one. The Wiz, I'm just trying to think of her name, original. Here we go. The Wiz original cast, but I think they're still pulling Diana Ross. She was not in the play. But anyway, if any of y'all remember who the original artist was, the young lady who was played in the Wiz, she was the short. I cannot believe it. That's crazy. I can't remember her name right now. If I keep digging, I'll find it. But it makes you wonder. In certain areas, how are black people there? When we go into certain neighborhoods, or certain events and certain parties and certain functions, there have been so many incidents in the black neighborhoods where there was one incident recently where a black guy shot and killed another black guy because he brought a package to his front door. The package was some food was delivered to the wrong door, so he ended up taking food next door to his neighbor house, and the person who, I guess, I don't know what took place, decided to shoot and kill a guy because he brought him food that was delivered to. That's like, I had some packages that were just delivered to my house a few days ago, and I'm looking at these big boxes, and I said, what is this stuff? And I'm looking at it, so this goes to my neighbor's house. So I just grabbed up the box, and that shit was heavy as hell too, and I lugged it over to their house. I told them, come pick this mess up. But I didn't feel like talking that day, so I said I ran over there and dropped it on their porch and dropped it back off. I put it on their porch, rang the doorbell, and left. And I could see from across the street they got their packages and stuff up. But something as minor as that can get you killed? Like, okay. Something as minor as someone brought the wrong mail or package. I'm sure we all have received, at least I have on numerous occasions, got the wrong mail. Somebody brought the wrong mail to my mailbox, or wrong package was delivered, and you just take it to whoever. If that's what I do. I don't know. Y'all might keep it. I don't know. Who knows? I just take the stuff back to where you give it to the person who it belongs to. I would hope that if my package was delivered to somebody else from the wrong address, they bring it to me and give it to me. Something so simple. Doesn't require a gun, doesn't require murder, doesn't require shooting and killing. But here's another thing, too, that's very intriguing to me. All these niggas out here grabbing these guns and shooting people, they really want to spend the rest of their life in prison? I mean, come on now. I just don't get that. You want to spend life without parole in prison? They just sentenced a young black kid. He was 17 years of age here in Atlanta. He shot and killed this white man at a country club here. This was a few years back, but he just got sentenced to life in prison. He was 17 when he committed the crime. They sentenced him to life with no parole. He ain't never getting out of the prison system. Then when he was in prison, I believe he harmed somebody inside that jailhouse. He did something to somebody inside that jailhouse. I can't remember. If he killed somebody, did something took place. But listen, I don't get this. I'm going to grab a gun, and I'm going to go on this rampage, and I'm going to shoot and kill for nothing. No reason at all. Like I said, when I lived in the old Fourth Ward, there were people getting shot and killed daily in that community at that time. Now, old Fourth Ward is going through gentrification, and it is now a luxury community of high-end homes, expensive homes and townhouses. That shit high as hell. You go look at the prices, Lord, this shit is high. The house I paid $300,000 and something for, $335,000 in 1998, recently sold for $1.5 million or something. They did do a renovation to the house. They put a new kitchen in there. They upgraded the house dramatically. It was a brand new house it built in 1998. It was beautiful then. But they went in there. But the point is, as the gentrification cleaned up the old Fourth Ward, which used to be very dangerous, one of Atlanta's most dangerous neighborhoods, old Fourth Ward, East Lake, Kirkwell, all that shit was dangerous. Now they've cleaned it up and it's safer, but the cleanup meant you niggas had to go. Now, there's still some issues up there on old Fourth Ward. They just had somebody get shot and killed near Boulevard, near the Wendy's. Somebody just a few days ago, some guy was shot and killed up there off Boulevard near that Wendy's. If you're familiar with Boulevard and Ponce, there's a Wendy's right there at Boulevard and Ponce de Leon. And so right across the street, they building a new Chick-fil-A. And he was shot and killed over there. So I was like, oh boy, they still doing that shit over there. In fact, they have a $10,000 reward out if anybody knows who. Now they claim this individual was just walking down the street, or maybe he was robbed. They don't really know why he was shot and killed. But of course, the family said Johnny was innocent. He ain't daring nobody, which could be very well the case. Very well could be. He was just walking down the street, minding his own business, and something went awry. Clearly, we know with Takeoff in this incident in Houston that he was not involved in the dice game, just happened to be in the area right by when all this mess kicked off, if that's true, what was taking place in the dice game. And the other Quavo got mad, and who knows? But I haven't seen any of this. This is what I read on social media. I haven't seen anything that would say something different. It's just kind of weird to see some millionaire rappers out there rolling dice in the middle of the street or wherever they did. If this is true, it very well could be true. I don't know. I wasn't there. I was in bed asleep at 2:30 in the morning that night on Halloween night. Like I said before, I've never been a fan of Halloween that way because it seemed like every Halloween somebody was getting shot and killed or ran over, all kinds of crazy shit. I said, y'all can have that out there. It's too dangerous for me. But again, everybody wants to have a gun. I hate that this woman lost her life in Minnesota because she just rejected a guy. She didn't want anything to do with him. And because of that rejection, this man was so hurt, I guess, so angered by this, they decided that she didn't deserve to live anymore. And I find that to be just kind of insane. The other incident, a mistake on a payroll check, a typo error, something that can be resolved pretty simply. So you decide a gun to go up there, go and shoot your old boss and kill him because they made a mistake. You're that angry, that mad over something, a simple mistake. I don't know. Yeah, I just keep my distance. I just thought those two news article stories were intriguing to me because it just seemed really bizarre. I was like, okay, is this for real? Y'all, we out here shooting and killing people because they reject you? We're shooting up the job all because there's a mistake on our payroll check? And I'm sure this stuff happens very frequently every day. And of course, white folks do it too. I do know, because I know I can't wait to hang and watch white folks be killing people too. Well, yeah, we do know that. Yeah, we've seen all the schools shooting these young white boys grabbing these guns, running to these schools and shooting innocent children for no reason. Yeah, so we do know that exists too. Maybe it's just too many guns out there. Maybe that's the biggest issue I could see is maybe too many of the wrong people have guns and using them for no reason. Maybe we need to be really begin to think gun laws in the United States. Some people don't deserve to have a gun. You know, I guess that's a tough subject. That's a whole other video to go into. I don't have time for that. Today is Wednesday. It is November 2nd. The year is 2022. And I'm about to go in this kitchen and about to let these dogs in the house. Look at them, they over there. They really clowning now. They've been scratching at the door. They've been begging to try to get back in the house. I'm gonna let back in while I go ahead and cook me some breakfast. Like I said, today is Wednesday, November 2nd, the year is 2022. I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of your beautiful Wednesday.